Hi guys, welcome back to my channel and welcome back to another video. We're doing a slightly different video for this monthly Project 10 pan and check-in, partly because I've got a slightly chaotic dog next to me who I need to keep a little close eye on so she doesn't cause too much chaos, and also partly because I felt like I was going to have to like force favourites on me and I just don't really have anything I want to say. So this is honestly the most chaotic favourite / Project 10 pan update I have ever filmed. What I thought I would do now, as we are a third of the way through the year, like what? It is the end of April, so we are 4 months through the year, which is a third. And I thought Project 10 pan is effectively part of my New Year's resolutions. So I thought we'd do a little New Year's resolution check-in and see how we're doing with them. Have a little catch up if any of them need to be reset or changed, and just generally check in. And then we'll do Project 10 pan at the end. Ops. So my goals fit into 3 different categories: personal and finance, health, and social. So the first section is personal and finance. So these are goals that are linked to me and hobbies and things I want to do, things I want to achieve, financial goals I want to make. So the first one was to sort out my driving license because I had an out-of-date driving license for most of last year. That one is sorted. That one has been fully ticked off and fully achieved. Ditto with getting a proper credit card, also sorted. I am well on track for my savings goal. Not that I'm going to tell you exactly what it is, but I am 41.9% of the way through my savings goal, and as I said, we're about a third of the way through the year, so very much doing well with that one. I had another goal which was to try and live in the town or city that we are aiming to move to at the end of the year. That we did. I did vlog it, so it's on YouTube somewhere, so if I remember, which I probably won't, I'll put it in the description box. The other one was read 25 books, which I did about 2 months ago, update to 50 books, but I think I might need to update it even further because I'm currently reading book number 32, and by the maths that I have, it means that if I keep going at the trajectory that I am, I'll hit 95 by the end of the year. So I feel like I need to update that target, but if you were here for the beginning of the year where I set a goal of 25, I'm one of these people that when I'm into reading, and then I get bored of it really fast. So I'm gonna leave that there, and we will bring it back and we will check in on that later. The next one is to finish 50 makeup products. Now I finished 6 this month, which will come at the end and you'll be able to see which ones they are. So I'm currently on 8. If you add those 6 on, we're now at 14, yeah, 14, which is good. 14 out of 50, solid. I have 1 dinner date a month with friends, so I've had 5 in total this year, so I feel like I'm doing very well with that. And then the other one was explore 6 new places. I've done 2. So I'm going to Scotland in June. That's kind of the only other thing I have booked that's about exploring new places. There's a couple of bank holidays coming up, and as I said, we're currently dog sitting, so I'm thinking maybe on the bank holiday, which I think is a week on Monday, we might go somewhere we can take her for a walk, but who knows. But at the moment I'm on 2 out of 6. So they're all my personal and finance goals, which to be honest I am progressing with very, very well. Where I start to lose it is social and health. So health, attend 1 gym class a week. I have stopped going to gym classes for a little while. I had to stop for a bit because I got sick and I got like burnt out, and I kind of had to like, something in my life had to let go, and it was the gym. I then started to go back, but to run and to kind of do like self training. It was going really well. I then got food poisoning and now I'm dog sitting, and I know it's an excuse, well the sickness not so much, but I know like not being able to get back into it properly in between is an excuse, and like you can always make time for it, but it's, to be honest, the health and fitness, which is mainly the gym part of it, has just taken a backseat. And maybe when I have slightly less on my plate, my mate takes her dog back, work chills out a bit, I'm not getting sick all the time, I'll be able to like go more routinely, but it's just had to take a bit of a backseat. But to be honest, I've smashed the other kind of like health related goals. So one was to bring in at least 1 lunch a week, which I've hit every single week this year. One was to drink 2 litres of water a day. I would say I do that about 95% of the time, so I measure that as success. And then walk at least 10,000 steps a day, and I am averaging the year at 11,364 steps a day, which is up on last year where it was about 8.5. So yeah, I'm kind of like, I'm hitting the rest of them, just not quite the fitness one, and I think that's absolutely fine. I'm gonna leave that as a goal in there, but just accept that there was about 2 months of the year where I didn't hit it. And then the social goal isn't like social time, it's like social. So post 1 video a week on YouTube, smashing that. Post 3 times a week on Instagram, absolutely flopping at that. And reach a certain subscriber goal on YouTube, which I'm doing okay with. I'm a little bit behind if you look at the year, but it's fine, it's in positive. I took off my Instagram follower target because I'm losing followers on Instagram, and so it was like negative percentage, and it was making me really sad. So yeah, I think I'm doing pretty well with the goals that I set at the beginning of the year. The only things I might need to tweak is more books on the book goal, which is obviously amazing, but I'm gonna like leave that one to settle. I need to start finding some new places to explore, otherwise I'm gonna fall behind on that goal really fast. I need to get back into the gym, but I think that's okay to take a couple weeks off. And then I need to get back onto Instagram, but that is a whole nother conversation. I think otherwise I'm doing pretty well. Like, I'm pretty happy with myself, I feel accomplished. So now for the moment of truth, Project 10 Pan. So for those of you who don't know anything about Project 10 Pan, let me describe it to you in a few steps. Although I have tweaked mine slightly to make it work better for me, because I have done this in the past and I got bored of it really fast. So Project 10 Pan is effectively, you have 10 products that you are trying to finish up over the period of however long Project 10 Pan lasts, and it finishes when the original 10 products have finished. That's the bit that I'm not really doing. I'm just doing mine for a year. Normally, if you finish a product, you replace it, and they just keep going until the original 10 have been finished. And during that period, you don't buy any makeup. However, last time I did this, ended up getting really bored of some of those products. It also meant I kind of ended up just abandoning the rest of my makeup collection. So I've altered the rules slightly so that it works slightly better for me and how I want to live my life. So the rules of my Project 10 Pan are thus. There are 10 products I'm trying to finish up every single month. I am totally okay with swapping out a product at the end of the month. So if I get fed up of the foundation I'm trying to use, if I don't want to use the same blush every day so I can replace a blush with a highlighter, I am totally happy and content to change products. I also am allowed to buy one thing every time I go to a makeup shop. And it's not to say I'm then going to go to a makeup shop like 30 times. It's just to say, like, I'm allowed to treat myself and I'm allowed to enjoy life, but it just stops copious amounts of purchasing, you know? Like, it's more considered, and I have to actually like think about it and consider it and decide whether actually I want it. And to be honest, having the freedom to be able to do it if I want to, but with that like stipulation in place, I think I've only bought about 2 makeup items all year, which means it is working. Right, let's proceed with Project 10 Pan. So we have some Empties. This is the first product that I use in my Project 10 Pan. It is the e.l.f. Power Grip Primer, and she is finished. There is like a little bit of product in there, but you pump the pump and it does not come out. I really enjoy this. I've actually got another one, and the reason why I wanted to finish this one up is because I bought the new one before I'd finished the old one, which is just a really dumb thing to do. So I'm gonna always have a primer in Project 10 Pan because I have so many primers, and if I don't put them in a project like this, I just don't use them. I'm gonna replace it with another e.l.f. product, and this is the e.l.f. Poreless Putty Primer. So I like this. I would say it's a solid 6 out of 10. Like, I don't love it. I really don't think when I finish this, it'll be a product I go out and repurchase. And for that reason, I kind of just want it to be finished. I don't think my pores are necessarily something that I'm like mega self-conscious about. I like this because it makes my makeup last longer. This is what I'm gonna try and finish up over the next however long it takes. So next up is foundation, and it's another Empty. Honestly, they're all at the beginning. It's like all excitement and then not excitement. So I finished up the Maybelline Superstay 24-hour skin tint. Not that you can necessarily tell, because it's one of those bottles that will just always look like there's product left in it. I have scraped I have squeezed, I have done everything I physically can. This is over, this is done. Actually, towards the end of it, really enjoyed this foundation. It was never my favourite, and I'm not sure I'm gonna like rush out and rebuy it, but if you want a really nice light to medium coverage, really natural, really easy foundation, this was great. I enjoyed it. I just quite excited to try something else, you know? So the product I'm replacing that with is something that's like 75% finished, and then I haven't used it since, and I feel like I just need to finish it up. It's quite a high coverage foundation, so it might not be an everyday wear, but I think if I put it in, I will wear it significantly more than I currently do, and all the rest of the foundations currently in my foundation section are all new, relatively. So this is the KVD Good Apple Foundation. If I open it up, yeah, there's like a full-on dent in there. It is a nice foundation. It is quite thick and balmy, which means, like I said, I don't think it's like the perfect everyday foundation, but I think if there's ever a season to wear it, spring probably is the season, because it's probably too heavy for summer and it's probably too heavy for winter. So I think spring is the season this should come into its own. And then the last empty that comes from Project 10 Pan is the NARS, what's this called? Soft Matte Complete Concealer. Like, I feel like I deserve some kind of award to finishing this concealer. It felt like it was never ever gonna be done. It just felt like it was gonna be like the concealer to outlast all concealers, and now it's finished and I'm so freaking excited. So yeah, I finished this concealer up, which means I need a replacement, and I've gone for a quick, easy, there's barely anything left, it shouldn't take me long to finish up concealer, because this one took months and I kind of need quick gratification. So the product I'm going to try and finish up, which I have no doubt I will, is the Maybelline Anti-Age Eraser Multi-Use Concealer. And mainly because there's barely anything left. I like the concealer. I think the actual product in here is pretty good. The applicator makes me feel a little bit sick, and especially considering this has been on the go for me for quite some time, and I really need to get this out of my life. It's probably grim. Yeah, I like this. I wouldn't say it's my favourite. Don't necessarily think I'm going to rush out and rebuy it, but a lot of the other concealers I have in my collection are relatively new or relatively full. So I just need to get this finished, you know? It shouldn't be in my drawer anymore, and that's why this is here. And then everything else in Project 10 Pan is actually going to stay. There's going to be no swap outs. Second month in a row. I know. I'm actually really enjoying it. I think because I've left lipstick, blush, and bronzer as open categories, and also eyeshadow, I've been able to like mix and match and try things out, and it's been like quite fun. The other products that are still in Project 10 Pan that are staying in here for some time are the Wet n Wild Mega Glow Highlighter. I mean, I feel like there's some progress in there. I'm pretty sure when I last saw you there was just one of those little thingies free, and now there's like 2 or 3 of them. So yeah, this is going to keep getting used, mainly because the packaging is broken. The other one is the Merit, what are you actually called? Bronze Balm in the shade Clay. Now this was basically brand new when I popped this in Project 10 Pan, but I like it. It's not my favourite. This is how far through I am, or the other way to view it. That's how far is left. So yeah, this one's gonna stay. I'm actually enjoying using it every day. The little lip liner is getting smaller and smaller, and I am kind of sad to eventually see the back of this, but this is the NYX Shine Loud lip liner in the shade Ambition Statement, and it's now really small. Like, look at that. I am really enjoying having a lip liner because it means I can use this to like trace around the outside of my lips, and because it's a relatively like your lips but better shade, you can kind of put any colour over the top, and it just means I'm using this probably like 3 or 4 times a week, which is way more than I would normally use lip liner. But yeah, I'm actually really enjoying this, and I will keep using it until she's finished, and then I'll be sad because this was in the previous Project 10 Pan. Like, I've been trying to use this thing up for a very long time. We've got the setting spray. This is the Beauty Crop Cocoa Aloe Mist Hydrating Setting Mist. I feel similarly about this setting mist to how I've always felt. Like, it's a good setting mist in terms of making your makeup or powder products kind of sit on your face better. Wouldn't say it's the best at kind of like elongating the ability of your makeup to stay on your face. That was a very weird way of saying it doesn't make makeup last longer. And then the last makeup item in here before we get into 2 skincare kind of ish products is the Beauty Bay Liner Palette. So I've used this probably like 4 times this month. So it's not like an everyday occurrence by any way, shape or form, but it is definitely, I'm using it a lot more than I was before it was in here, and I just need to keep using it. But I do think one thing I just really need for this is a more accurate angled eyeliner pencil brush thing. And the last 2 things in here are skincare, but like not skincare I'd necessarily apply like in the bathroom. So the first one is the Glossier Mango Balm.com Universal Skin Salve. And I added this because one, I'm terrible at remembering to put lip balm on, and 2, I've had this in my life for a long time, and while I definitely recommend the formula, I'm really enjoying the formula, I'm not the biggest fan of having a mango scented / slightly flavoured lip balm on my lips, especially in the morning. So when this finishes, I'm definitely going to buy a non-scented Glossier lip balm, because I'm pretty sure you can now get Glossier in like Space NK or something. Enjoying it, I'm like that far through, I'll just keep using it a little bit every day. And then the very last product that is in Project 10 Pan is a fragrance. So I add a fragrance every single time because I've got a lot of fragrances and some of them are very old. I have had this fragrance since I worked at Superdrug at university, which is coming up to 8 years ago, give or take. I mean, it still smells amazing, and I don't think necessarily fragrances have a shelf life in the same way as like makeup does. It just means it gets slightly less intense the longer you have it, but it still smells amazing. And this is Lacoste. I don't know what the fragrance is actually called. I feel like I've made good progress with it. And there you have it. The only thing I have to show you is the 3 other products I finished that aren't part of Project 10 Pan. They're just 3 things that I happened to use up over the last wee while. So they are these 3. So we've got the NYX, the Brow Glue, which like there is probably the smallest bit of product left in there, but it's absolutely grim. And the bit of product that is still in there has lost its like consistency. It's gone past gloopy into like congealed mess, which no one wants to put on their face. So there is probably a little bit of product left in there, but no one wants it. The other thing I finished is the Benefit roller liner, and this is the brown version. I have to say this dried up pretty fast, that I'll get like a bit of brown and then nothing will come out. Look, it's really, there is still clearly product in here, but it's now coming out in such like unreliable swathes that I need to get rid of it. So this is like half dried out, half just an absolute hot mess. And then the very last thing I finished up is the Too Faced Better Than Sex mascara. The wand is insane. Like that is an insane wand. And I found this mascara, it was often not on my eyelashes by the end of the night. Like it was frequently like kind of like under my eyes. Like the transfer on this wasn't great. It was also quite a messy mascara to use. I know it's like a cult favourite and a fan favourite, but I can't really work out personally why. But I finished the whole thing up and I am actually quite excited and happy that I get to use other mascaras now, because I put this in a real effort vibe for a long time. Right, let's put all of the Project 10 Pan products back in this little container. There you go. Here she is. These are now the 10 products I'm aiming to finish up over the next month. And I will check in with you guys at the end of May with maybe another favourites. I might bring those back, who knows. But with a Project 10 Pan update, we'll get progress shots. We should have some empties, because like this, if this isn't empty then I've done something wrong. And yeah, thank you so much for joining me on a little Project 10 Pan update, on a little New Year's resolutions update, because they are kind of interlinked. If you enjoyed this video, give it a thumbs up, click subscribe, and I will see you guys in my next video. Bye!